Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Know what times and seasons you are living in. And the reason why I say that is because the vast majority of the people of our nation do not know what time or season we are living in. Our people, the vast majority of our people, the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians, are completely unaware that Jacob's trouble is around the corner. Now, for you Israelites who are too stupid to know who Jacob is in the Holy Scriptures, Jacob is our forefather, okay? His name was changed to Israel after he wrestled with an angel and succeeded. So an Israelite is somebody who descends from Jacob, and we come from Jacob. So Jacob's trouble is around the corner. So know what times and seasons you're living in. All right. It is the year 2022, the year of turn up, as Apostle Tahar coined, as Apostle Tahar, pointed out this year. This is the year of turn up, right? So you should know what time and season you're living in. You should know what is going on around the world. You should know about, the Crown Royal 19. You should know about the monkeypox. How it is just another hoax to scare people into getting the jump shot. You should know about the war on Ukraine, the war on Russia and Ukraine. How NATO's getting involved, Germany's getting involved, Turkey getting involved, NATO getting involved. You should know that the so-called Israelis are preparing a particular exercise where they attacked Iran. And as a matter of fact, Israel is not alone in this exercise. The United States and the so-called Israelis are conducting exercises to attack the United States. And we know what's going to happen when that happens. So Jacob's trouble is near, And as a matter of fact, I believe there was a spokesperson from Iran. He said that the so-called Israelis cannot wait anymore to determine if Iran is enriching themselves in uranium, which uranium is needed to make nuclear bombs. So, because the Iranians are running impatient, they are conducting exercises along with the United States in order to invade Iran. And the scriptures speak about that. Surely the least of the flock, which the so-called Israelis, they're the ones calling themselves the flock of the Lord, right? They're the ones telling the world they are the Jews, in which they are not. Now, don't get me wrong. We do have some of our people are living in the land of Israel. They look like so-called Jews, but they're actually Israelites because their father's lineage on their father's side goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian. But, the so-called Israelis, they are, some of those so-called Israelis are Israelites because their father's lineage on their father's side goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian. Okay, remember, the father determines who your nationality is. Why? because the man carries the seed. Okay? But yeah, what do I mean by he carries the seed? Okay? All right, the word seed goes back to the Greek word sperma, which means sperm. So we all know where sperm comes from. So your nationality is determined by who your father is on your father's side. So, yeah, but anyways, you got to know what time you're living in, man. 2nd Esdras chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently. How do you measure time? You measure time by the events that are going on around the world. When you see things happening here and there, you're like, okay, that lines up with that prophecy. That lines up with this prophecy. This lines up with this, that, fourth, and the other prophecy. This lines up with a lot of these prophecies. When you see earthquakes happening around the world, the first thing that should come to your mind is scriptures like Matthew's, the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7. The book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 11. When you hear about famines, scriptures should come to your mind like Matthew 24 and 7, Luke 9 and 11, Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 10. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 16. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 16. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 10. All these mass shootings being staged. Oh, and by the way, that's been exposed. Now we know what these mass shootings are about. Now it's no coincidence how after these mass shootings, now the United States government wants to implement, what the hell do they call those scanners? They have them at the airports. But anyways, they want these scanners that they have at the airports inside of these different school buildings. Okay, scanners that scan for guns and all kind of metal objects, because at the end of the day, it's all a power push. The U.S. government wants complete control of you people. Okay, and we can see it clearly. We can clearly see what's going on around here. They want complete control of you people. Okay? Yeah, it's the certain kind of scanners that they want at all these schools. Before you know it, you're gonna start hearing about mass shootings at grocery stores and department stores, and right before you know it, they're gonna have those scanners there too. These cities are literally becoming smart cities. Your trash cans already got chips in them, okay? In a smart city, trash cans have chips in them, okay? We're already on a smart grid. We're living in a so-called technology smart society, which smart cities is a part of Agenda 21. A lot of people are unaware of that. So he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So the Lord is visiting the world. This world is being visited. This world is being visited through prophecy. As you can clearly see, if you're watching the news. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people. Oh, wait a minute. Are there not uproars of the people all around the world? There's violent protests breaking out in Europe, okay? protests have gotten so bad in Europe to the point to where martial law troops literally had to use live rounds against their own civilians. They had to use live rounds. Okay, we got protests breaking out in Venezuela because of food shortages and because of skyrocketing food prices. And by the way, food prices are rising everywhere. So what's the result? People are shoplifting. You know, the crime rate is going up. But it's all prophecy. It's all prophesied to happen. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. The end of what? The end of Esau's rulership is manifested. Okay? So-called white people descend from Esau. They are the true biblical Edomites. And we are living at the end of their empire, starting with the so-called elites, trickling down to the rest of their nation, the people. We are living at the end of their empire. We are living at the end, excuse me there, I had to cross the street, but we are living at the end of their rulership. You know, so the end is manifest. But how do we know that the end is manifested? Through the times that we are living in, which is important for what? To know the times and the seasons we're living in. With that, I hope you were edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. With that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one.